All too often, couples get into a rut when it comes to intimacy.
And very quickly, sex can fall to the bottom of the to-do list, as seen in the movie Date Night.
No. You just put in your mouth guard. That usually means we're not going to, you know.
No. We can still fool around.
Really? Only if you're into it. I mean...
No, I would love to. Let me just, get the...
Yeah, okay, you know what? No, it's... honey, I'm totally fine if we don't.
So how do you address your issues and reconnect with your partner? Dr. Streicher is the author of Love, Sex, Again, and associate professor of OBGYN at Northwestern University.
And Hal Runkle is a licensed marriage and family therapist and founder of the Scream Free Institute.
Is that
We're not going into detail. Okay, we'll just let that one alone.
Good to see you both. All right, it is a problem for us. We're living longer.
That's right.
If we're still in a marriage, we're all of a sudden you're celebrating your 70th wedding anniversary, right?
For a lot of people, I mean, intimacy is something that you're so busy that you don't even have time to take care of it.
You know, I think we have to recognize that there's a cycle of sex throughout our lives. And in your 20s, face it, it's all about sex all the time. Yeah. And then in your 30s, it's sex with a purpose because you're trying to make a baby. And then in your 40s, you see the bed and all you want to do is go to sleep.
Sleep in it, yeah.
And then you get to your 50s, and that's where it kind of gets interesting because hopefully you're in that crowd that says, kids are gone, we used to like sex, let's reconnect. But all too often, that's not what's happening at all.
And then in your 60s, you're saying, did we ever have sex?
What sex? Yeah. Sex.
What if it makes such a big deal about it?
Hello? A lot of people wonder what is a healthy amount of sex to have in a long relationship. What do you think? Do the numbers show anything? Is there
No, there is no magic number. I will say you got to have enough that it doesn't get stale, but you don't have so much that it gets predictable.
Yeah. Right? Okay. Why do you think so many of these things like Ashley Madison are just appealing to thousands and thousands of people?
Because people... A lot of times couples get into where they say they don't want sex, right? And you'll talk about biological issues where women say they don't want sex, and that's absolutely valid. But a lot of times what I experience is they just don't want sex with him.
Yeah.
Or they don't want the type of sex they've been having.
Yeah. They want something else.
They want something
else.
People don't recognize when we talk about sex, we're not necessarily talking about intercourse. And particularly with older couples, they might be very sexual, but they don't necessarily fall into the traditional definition of sex.
There's lots of kinds of intimacy.
There's lots of kinds of physical intimacy.
We did this survey on Today.com just because we wondered how often are people having sex, because that's what we care about.
Yes.
So people, this was the percentages. 6% said every day.
What?
They're lying.
Yeah, we don't
25% said 3 to 5 times per week. 52% said 1 to 2 times on a good week. And 17% who can remember the last time.
Well, here's the problem with those things is how you define sex. Are we being sexual? Because if I'm not being sexual with my wife every day, then I think I'm failing as a husband. And that doesn't mean we're actually having intercourse. Right. But it means that I'm going to put the fact that we're a romantic connection first. Right? We can be lovers and best friends, but only in that order of priority. Right?
Yeah, people confuse love with sex. And
and you also have to look at the age. That's so important. If you call a bunch of 20-year-olds, that's going to be very different than what you're going to find at 50 or 60, because we do know that biologically, since the purpose of sex, of course, is reproduction, and we're not reproducing in the 50s and 60s, so that the libido does drop down. There are physical, hormonal, medical things that can sabotage your sex life.
People are watching this and are concerned because they do want to have more sex with their husband. We always say the same things. Have a date night. Do X and Y.
Yeah, but that doesn't help.
But
if
what
it hurts,
then?
Yeah, you control it.
And
that's exactly why I wrote Love, Sex, Again, is the idea that it doesn't help to take a bubble bath and have date night if when you do try and have sex, it feels like you're having sandpaper in your vagina.
And I always tell people,
you're not going
that was unfortunate. We were doing really well till then.
Karen from Baltimore is across the street with a question. Help us, Karen.
Hi, I'm Karen from Baltimore, Maryland. I'm a police officer, and I work midnights. When I get home, we have 7 children. I was wondering how we can have intimate time during all the craziness and scheduling with the children.
She's an extreme case of people.
Come on. 7 times they had sex. We know that for sure.
Yeah, honey.
Clearly, she wants to have more intimacy in her life. Any advice for her?
You got to make it a priority. And again, you got to prioritize. We are a romantic relationship. When there's You know what? I'll say we need an SOS, a scheduled orgasm session, right? We'll just put it on the calendar.
There's a lot going on here.
There's a lot happening here. Did the kids have the kids figured that out? What that means now?
I hope not, but now they might be watching.
It doesn't matter. Lock the door. Get rid of them.
Absolutely.
But part of it also is the insomnia issue when someone this busy and is operating on like 2 minutes of sleep.
You're right.
If you finally get a little time off, you want to sleep. And I think that that's such an important point that people don't address is you need to get some rest.
We hope this has entertained you at home. And you've learned a little something you can apply to your personal life.
Thank you ever so. All right.
Thank you guys.
Thanks.